Namaste, angels. This is the daily reading for Monday, October 22nd. On this day at 6:58 in the morning, the moon enters Aries, where it will be for 2 days. So we may see a bunch of fire, possibly the Emperor, the King of Wands, that sort of thing. But we're going to begin with what went on in this day in history first. In the year 1633, the Battle of Liao Liao Bay in Dutch East India Company, defeated by Chinese and the Ming naval forces in southern Fujian Sea. 1721, Tsar Peter the Great. He becomes the quote-unquote all-Russian imperator. 1879, Thomas Edison perfects carbonized cotton filament and the light bulb. 1884, International Meridian Conference in Washington, D.C. adopts Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, worldwide, creating 24 international time zones with longitude 0 at Greenwich Meridian. 1907, Panic of 1907, a run-on Knickerbocker Trust Company, so like a run on the banks, that run on the trust company stock leads to U.S.-wide run on all banks. So maybe the beginning of like a depression or a depression. 1907. 1962, Cuban Missile Crisis. U.S. President John F. Kennedy addresses TV about Russian missile bases in Cuba and imposes a naval blockade on Cuba, beginning the missile crisis. Did you know the world's first car dealer opens in London on October 22nd in 1897? Famous birthdays: Franz Liszt, Louis Riel, Bao Dai, Robert Capa, Joan Fontaine, and Shaggy. Would you believe, in Paris, an express train overruns a buffer stop, crosses more than 30 meters of concourse before plummeting through a window at Gare Montparnasse. This happened on October 22nd in 1895. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that right. With my New York accent, a French word, but you can figure it out. It's spelled G-A-R-E. That's the first name, Gare Montparnasse. Montparnasse, if anybody wants to look it up. Famous weddings: 1945, Argentinian military officer and politician Juan Perón. So he was the president, basically. I don't know why they entitled him that way and made it confusing. Anyway, he was 50, and that's when he wed Eva Perón. You know, Evita. She was 26. They got married in a civil ceremony in Junin. 1948, farm labor leader Cesar Chavez, 21, weds labor activist Helen Fabella, 20, in Reno, Nevada. 1967, actor Morgan Freeman, 30, weds Jeanette Adair Bradshaw. 1970, singer James Brown, 37, weds Deirdre Jenkins in Barnwell, South Carolina. 1981, best-selling author Michael Crichton, 39, weds broadcast journalist Suzanne Childs. And 2007, Black Crowes frontman Chris Robinson, 40, divorces actress Kate Hudson, 28, due to irreconcilable differences after nearly 6 years of marriage. Famous deaths: Paul Cézanne, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Arnold J. Toynbee. Arnold J. Toynbee was English and a historian. He's famous for having been an economic historian, noted for his social commitment. Toynbee was perhaps the world's most read and discussed scholar in the 1940s and 50s, producing a large number of papers and presentations. He's best known for his 12-volume, quote, A Study of History, which covered 1934 through 61, which studied the rise and fall of 26 civilizations and concluded that how they responded to challenges was key to their success and failure. His work, though, lost favor among both the general public and scholars by the 1960s due to the religious and spiritual outlook that permeates most of his work. Oh, sounds like something I might like. Thus, Toynbee's work has been seldom read or cited in recent decades. He was born on April 14th in 1889 in London, England, and Aries. He died on October 22nd in 1975 at the age of 86. Pretty Boy Floyd His real name was Charles Arthur Floyd. He was a gangster, a familiar figure in American popular culture, sometimes seen as notorious, but at other times viewed as a tragic figure, partly a victim of the hard times of the Great Depression in the United States. He operated in the Midwest and West-South Central states, and his criminal exploits gained widespread press coverage in the 1930s. He was born on February 3rd in 1904 in Adairsville, Georgia, USA, was an Aquarius. He died on October 22nd in 1934 at the age of 30. He was shot in a cornfield while being pursued by local law officers and FBI agents. And Paul Cézanne was French and a painter. Ooh, the page just went like all over the place. French artist and post-impressionist painter whose work laid the foundations of the transition from the 19th century conception of artistic endeavor to a new and radically different world of art in the 20th century. He was born on January 19th in 1839 in Aix-en-Provence, France, a Capricorn. He died on October 22nd in 1906 at the age of 67 of pneumonia. And going back up to the birthday, Shaggy is 49 years old. He is both American and Jamaican, a pop singer and rapper, famous for Boombastic, It Wasn't Me, and Angel, not a cartoon dog with those pesky kids. He was born on October 22nd in 1968. Again, he's 49 years old, from Kingston, Surrey, Jamaica. Chinese zodiac monkey, star sign Libra. Joan Fontaine was both American and British, an actress. She received an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress for her role in Rebecca, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. The following year, she won an Academy Award for Best Actress for Hitchcock's Suspicion in 1941, making her the only actor to ever win an Academy Award in a film directed by Hitchcock. She was born on October 22nd in 1917, which is 9/9, and the birthplace was Tokyo, Japan. She was a Libra. She died on December 15th in 2013 at the age of 96, natural causes. Robert Capa was Hungarian and a photojournalist. He covered 5 different wars: the Spanish Civil War, the Second Sino-Japanese, World War II across Europe, the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, and the First Indochina War. He was born on October 22nd in 1913 in Budapest, Austria-Hungary, and was a Libra. He died on May 25th in 1954 at the age of 40 of injuries from landmine explosion. Bao Dai has a different name that's probably Vietnamese, that's not even spelled in traditional English characters, so I'm not going to attempt to try to read it. But he was Vietnamese, and he went by another name, or was born with a different name. Nguyen, looks like Nguyen Phuc Vinh Thuy, and I don't know if that's right, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but that's what it looks like. Anyway, he was Emperor of Vietnam, the ruler of the Protectorate of Annam, then a French-controlled colony with French Indochina. During World War II, Bao Dai was a client of the Japanese occupation before Viet Minh leader Ho Chi Minh convinced him to abdicate in August of 1945. When you abdicate, it means like you leave your throne, your kingdom, whatever. He returned as chief of state in the internationally recognized state of Vietnam from 1949 until 1955. Nguyen Diem's fraudulent 1955 referendum permanently removed Bao Dai as the head of state of Vietnam. He was born on October 22nd in 1913 in Hue, French Indochina, a Libra. He died on July 30th in 1997 at the age of 83 of natural causes. And Louis Riel was Canadian, a politician. As a political and spiritual leader of the Métis people of the Canadian prairies, he led 2 resistance movements against the Canadian government, seeking to preserve Métis rights and culture. He was arrested and charged with treason before being executed in 1885. 1885 is 1304-1111, by the way. He was born on October 22nd in the year 1844 in Red River Colony, Canada, a Libra. He died on November 16th in 1885 at the age of 41 of execution by hanging. And lastly, Franz Liszt, Liszt. Hungarian, a composer and a pianist. He's one of the most prominent representatives of the New Deutsche School. He was born on October 22nd in 1811. And the place of birth was Rading, Hungary. He was a Libra. He died on July 31st in 1886 at the age of 74 of heart disease. And he was the last of the birthdays and the last of the people that we will go over today. Going to the dice. Looks like we're going to begin with yes, spin money, and dirty movie. Spirit says stay in bed. No. And eat cake. Happy birthday to the last of the Libras. It's your last day, the 22nd. All right, so, I'm beginning with Justice, which represents the planet Venus and the sign of Libra. Major Arcana card 8. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. Opening to the 7 of Earth. Seeds well planted. A temporary pause in action. Unnecessary worry. Justice. Oh, the 6 of Water. Memories from your history or childhood. Issues regarding children. Romanticizing the past. Also, the Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Page of Fire is a Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, or Scorpio. Justice. And speaking of Scorpio, it is Major Arcana card number 13. Release or death in the traditional tarot. The end of a phase or situation. Spiritual transformation. It's time to move on. Opposite this, it's the end of Libra season, right? And the beginning of Scorpio. Isn't that funny? Justice. And lastly, Major Arcana card 15, Ego, or the Devil, with Archangel Jophiel. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. Opposite Justice, it could be about like jail or feeling imprisoned, really feeling stuck. I mean, the devil always feels like is always about feeling stuck. It tends to be in your mind. You're not really. But opposite Justice, that devil could be something connected to a legal situation and perhaps even prison, jail, or something. Having just seen death, though, and the end of a phase, somebody could be being released from prison, coming home, or like finding out when they're going to come home and getting a new start. Major Arcana card, the Dreamer, card number 0. A leap of faith, follow your dreams. That leads to unexpected opportunities. The Dreamer, or the Fool in the traditional tarot, is all about a brand new path. And for me, in this deck at least, represents the signs of Gemini and Virgo. Overall energy is the 10 of Fire. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance. That leads to stress-related health concerns. Yeah, I'm still getting that Justice opposite the Devil could mean the end of some sort of it could be legal woes or situation with some other kind of authority, government office or something. Maybe it's been long and drawn out. Maybe you've been going back and forth to court for a long time, some other kind of court, or back and forth to some kind of office that was annoying and you felt stuck. And it's finally coming to an end, and this could be representing that too. It may directly impact a fire sign, although this is not a court card. I'm just really feeling that this fire is meaningful here. So perhaps really in this situation that I'm feeling involving a Leo. Yeah, I think that I'm feeling that one most. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, of course, possibly a Scorpio. Crowning the masculine is the Seven of Earth, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. So the masculine may have started something or may have put some effort into something. It has not like formed fruit yet, right? It is still growing, and maybe right now nothing's happening, and he could start to get nervous about it. But if he does, that it would be unnecessary, because whatever he has put into action, it is, going according to plan. He's surrounded by the Page of Water, intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Also, there are heightened psychic abilities. The Page of Water is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And this can be just, this person, masculine, doesn't have to be a water sign. This can be an offer of love coming from any zodiac sign, or something that you receive, a phone call, a card, a letter in the mail, an email, package that, brings joy, some sort of news that makes us happy. Masculine subconscious, the Knight of Air, intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of Air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, and often is somebody who has a decision to make or is awaiting a decision. Again, this could be attached to something legal too, on which we've been waiting for a long time to finally, come to an end, perhaps. Crowning the feminine. The Five of Fire, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. This can be internal struggles, but where it is conflict with others, it tends for me to be conflict with close friends and or family. Can also be about the need to take some action. It's a very Mars-like energy for me, so it could be coming through because of that Aries moon as well. Surrounded by the feminine is surrounded by the Eight of Water, a desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. She could want to move on from a difficulty, from a conflict, like I'm over this now. Let's just make up, or let's just quit talking, quit speaking. Let's walk away from each other, whatever the case is. She could be over some sort of, competition or struggle or conflict. Feminine subconscious. Yep. Wanting to cut something off, like I'm done with this. Queen of Air, independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be Venus or Mercury as well. And there may be something going on with these two court cards here. Maybe specifically a female air sign, older than this male air sign, and or a younger water sign. Because this is like a couple, and they're mirroring one another, this Queen and Knight of Air. But this is a court card too, so there could definitely be a water sign involved, or this person can be, more than one. Could be sun, moon, or rising, this, or not even that they're directly connected to the signs. This could just be the masculine's energy on this day too. Decisive yet somewhat emotional as well, in a positive sense. Anyway, crowning. It's more air. The Page of Air, logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information. delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. Like the Knight and Queen that are here, the Page of Air is also a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or perhaps having something to do with Mercury or Venus, both of which rule Gemini. At the root, the Nine of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. This could be after having walked away from someone, someplace, something, and or cut someone, something, someplace off. You are by yourself, spending more time with yourself, getting to know, like, and love you. And yes, maybe drumming up business, some sort of new business or something, perhaps of your own design and making. And if so, congratulations to you. For the masculine, it could be something that is growing. And even though you can't see how it's growing yet, don't give up. Don't feel like it's not doing anything. The heart of the matter. Boom. This is why you shouldn't feel like it's not doing anything. It's on its way. The Ace of Earth, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, and important documents or contracts. This can also be what the devil and justice represented in the beginning. Maybe it was difficult getting, starting a business, getting through some paperwork, getting credit or some sort of licenses or something that you needed. But if you've been having difficulty, even looking for a place, maybe to have your business or a place to live, I feel that and see that too. That may have been difficult, but finally, you're going to be able to move on, whether that's literal or figurative. Clarification of the feminine's Five of Fire with what that may have to do. Ooh, the King of Water. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice, and charity work, which as far as I'm concerned, charity work is love. It's giving and or receiving without agenda. This conflict that the feminine may have been having is perhaps between an air sign and a water sign. And there's a desire to move on from the conflict one way or another, whether they make up and get this new start together or a new start on one's own, single. If this was a couple, again, there could be a breakup, complete walking away, and they are now single. Getting a fresh start of their own. I think that may be all we need to clarify. Further advice to the masculine. Major Arcana card 1, the Magician with Archangel Raziel. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. And life is magical. So yes, where you might have been stuck before, we are unstuck now. There is movement. And that devil, that energy of being stuck, yeah, it could have been connected to so many things. There were 3 planets at one point, not too long ago, retrograde in Capricorn, which is, ruled by Saturn. And so it's that energy. That is no more. There have been quite a few other, actually, transits involving Saturn and or Capricorn recently that have had us stuck in different ways. And I think that what we've seen today is that is no more, at least for the moment. And so it's a good time. It's a prime time for you to take advantage of this other energy. And the Venus retrograde in Scorpio, because Venus rules both love and money, is really intense in both of those areas. And so things that were open-ended are coming to an end in that area, that were going, drawn out. Those chapters are finally being closed. And there are many, many, many new beginnings right now. So take advantage of that. Harness that energy. Also, I've been talking about how thin The veil between our realm and the spiritual realms is said to be during the month of October, but particularly as we get closer to the 23rd, when 4 bodies in the celestial system will be in Scorpio, and then closer to the 31st, Halloween, which is said to be like the day where that veil is the thinnest. Yes, you can manifest all kinds of stuff. You're going to be having, vivid dreams. You should write them down. Pay attention. You're going to your intuition, heightened. Page of Water can also be about that. Strengthens psychic awareness. All kinds of things going your way to help you to make progress. Take advantage of it. And feminine for us. Further advice to us. The World, again, indicative of something coming to an end, involving perhaps a fire sign, or in this case, maybe a Scorpio, water and fire, but it could be anybody. Anybody king of water like, or perhaps with whom you had a romantic relationship. Maybe it's 2 air signs in a romantic relationship, or like a somebody ruled by Venus and somebody ruled by Mercury, both of which, rule both air and earth, or something like that. It really does not matter. But again, somebody king of water, like you could have been having a problem. It may have involved a third party or third energy. And whatever that was, it is coming to an end. That's what the world means. It means the universe is stepping in to help you out of that situation. And it does represent fire energy for me. So like I said, the conflict was surrounding fire. Okay, our overall energy, fire too. And this card for me is fire, whether it looks like it or not. When I picked up the overall energy, the 10, the 6 of fire is behind it. So this is about victory. This is triumph over those, past negative energies. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. The 7 of air is behind that. Plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye and poor timing. But this can just be meaning, again, we're starting something over. So we need to revise our plans, because either we're not going any further together on the path, or we are. And so we need to make plans for that. And there may be a decision involving all of that. We might need to sleep on it, rest, recover, get our wits back about us. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision if you need to. Meditation may provide answers. Meditation is good, but guess what's behind that? The 2 of water. Told you it had to do with a couple for a bunch of us. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. And then that results in Queen of Water. And this is the last upright card. Tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. This relationship, it does not have to be romantic, but it's a very good chance that it is. If it's not romantic, I would say close friends and or family, just like I had said about the 5 of Wands before. But again, in any of the difficulty, struggle, strife, whatever it was that was surrounding it, coming to an end, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, and the path toward enlightenment. The world is you moving forward, and the universe helping you to do so, although it may require some patience. So you might not see this on Monday, but you should begin to see it soon in your life. And I hope that you do. I hope that you do see evidence of it, like, and you really know, oh, that's what we were talking about in the reading. Because it's awesome when that happens. And it does tend to happen, with somebody every day. But I just wish we could all notice, like, the little things in life when they're happening. Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. This is what we were talking about. Because then as we get more and more acclimated to that, we really become more in control of our destiny. We know how to navigate the energy one way or the other. Whatever's coming through, we can handle it all once we know how to read it. So I wish you guys all that, although I kind of went on a tangent because it has nothing to do with this reading. In general, I wish you all that. I hope that you enjoy the reading and that you have a good day and that it's all helpful in your life. Namaste, angels.